Afrexim was in favor of the Ghana Cocoa Board. And that tells you that there has been a relationship ab initio between Ghana and the Afreximbank. Today, the Afreximbank is here in Accra to engage our good friends from the media as a precursor to the 30th Afrexim annual meetings. This event will mark the high point of the bank's year-long 30th anniversary celebrations under the theme, Delivering the Vision, Building Prosperity for Africans. 30 years ago, the founding fathers of Afreximbank launched a bold initiative for Africans. The hard work of the past 3 decades in pursuit of that vision has shaped what Afrexim has become today, a catalyst for transforming Africa's trade. Before I introduce the chairman and speakers for today, permit me to share some information to everyone's benefit. We have about 30 journalists in this hall, and of course, they are the reason we are all gathered here, so we can share some good news to them. But there's an equally large number of journalists who are with us virtually, and they would all form part of the event we are having today. I say you're welcome to all of you here, including those online. Kindly note that there are interpretation services available for anyone who does not speak English. Today's program will feature introductory messages from our speakers. This would be followed by a question and answer session. The protocol here, and I believe you are all conversant with it, my good friends from the media. If you need to ask a question, kindly raise your hands, and then once I have invited you, you can introduce yourself and proceed with your question. For those online, you would have to press the Q&A button, and you can even start filing or posting your questions online. After the Q&A session, we will have the closing and final remarks, which will be followed by a cocktail reception in the foyer. And that would be, I would say, the end of a successful event. Now that is out of the way, I would introduce our speakers for today. Our host and chairman for the event is the Honorable Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance of Ghana, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam. Welcome, Honorable Minister. Our distinguished guest is His Excellency, the President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Afreximbank, Professor Benedict Orama. Welcome, Your Excellency. We also have with us the Honorable Deputy Minister for Information, Ghana, Madam Fatimatu Abubakar. Welcome, Honorable Minister. And somebody told me we cannot have an event like this without the Central Bank Governor around. So please help me welcome the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison. Now that our speakers are introduced, may I invite our speakers, particularly the Honorable Minister, followed by the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, and then His Excellency, President and Chairman, Professor Oroma, to give us their introductory remarks. Mr. Honorable Minister, your audience.
Well, thank you very much, Deputy Minister Fatima Abubakar, Governor of the Central Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, Mr. President of Afreximbank, Professor Benedict Orama, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I do this on behalf of the Honorable Minister for Finance, and I welcome everyone to this important event. It is a pleasure and honor to be part of this important event, which is to inform and update Ghanaians on an important upcoming event, the hosting of the 2023 annual meeting and the 30th anniversary celebrations of the Afreximbank in Ghana. And this will be done from the 18th to the 22nd June 2023. I don't know whether this is introductory remarks or a welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana is proud to host the Afreximbank after we signed on as a member state in Abidjan on the 8th of May 1993. And we've supported the adoption of the charter of the Afreximbank in Abuja in October of that same year. As a privileged host of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat and a Class A shareholder of this bank, we are also happy to be hosting the 30th anniversary of the bank this year, the year the African Union has declared as the year of AfCFTA. It is our expectation that by hosting this commemorative milestone, we will help generate greater commitment and accelerate the effective implementation of the AfCFTA to fully benefit the continent and achieve the Africa we want under the Agenda 2063. Today, most African economies are smarting under the severe impact of three key overlapping global shocks, which have triggered macroeconomic instability, tightening financial conditions, and food insecurity. And we are all familiar with those shocks. Amidst all this, we also know that the role of global and regional trade in promoting economic dynamism and transformation is beyond question. The experiences of all other regions of the world bear ample testimony to this fact. Yet today, Africa's share of global trade is just about 3%, and intra-Africa trade is only 16%. Amongst the key reasons for this uninspiring trade performance is the lack of finance and access to trade and market information. It is in this respect that all Africans must be supportive of the Afreximbank, a bank that is set up to deliver just that and more. In the Afreximbank, we have an institution with convening power and a network of resources to significantly contribute towards finding robust solutions to these challenges. This is an institution that has grown its assets from an initial $5 billion United States dollars to $27.7 billion as of September 2022, and a net loans portfolio of $20 to $23 billion. So under the theme, delivering the vision, building prosperity for Africans, the annual meetings and the 30th anniversary celebration is significant as it offers us an opportunity to renew our dedication to the vision of our forebears, building shared prosperity for Africans. I believe that hosting this high-level event in Ghana will also afford us the opportunity to convey our collective appreciation to the Afreximbank as a strategic partner of our country. Just last year, in the midst of what was a really difficult year in Ghana's economic history, the Afreximbank showed what cherished friendships are. The amount of $750 million loan provided to Ghana cannot be understated. We are truly thankful for Afreximbank coming through in these difficult times. But through our enduring partnership, Ghana has undertaken significant projects in the health, transportation, energy, finance, and of course trade financing. key private financial institutions in Ghana have also experienced the power of Afreximbank in expanding their operations. And clearly, Ghanaians have a cause to take pride in and promote this enduring partnership between us and Afreximbank. Considering our championing role in Pan-Africanism, we owe it to our heritage and to ourselves to successfully host this important event for the continent. We are therefore making frantic efforts to assure security, health, transport, accommodation, and related protocol arrangements to ensure that the meetings are held successfully. The Accra International Conference Center has been designated as the venue for the meetings. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to about 150 shareholders, the annual meeting is expected to be attended by heads of states, and invitations have already reached a number of heads of states who have confirmed participation. But we'll also have local and international finance and development organizations, captains of industry and civil society. True to his beliefs in building African institutions for African solutions, His Excellency President Akufo-Addo will deliver the keynote address at the opening ceremony. Other strategic dialogues will be held during the meetings. So we are privileged to have the opportunity to host this event, and we look forward to providing a platform where we can deliberate and seek African solutions to African problems. I therefore urge all of you, ladies and gentlemen, especially those in the financial industry, to register and participate in this event. Prof. Benedict Orama, the President of Afreximbank, and the entire team of Afreximbank, you are welcome to Accra, the host city. We cherish you, and we want to work with you to build an enduring partnership. But let me take this opportunity also to express our appreciation for the support you have given to us during our trying moments, particularly days leading to our application for an IMF program, which was approved only 2 days ago. And the governor just informed me that $600 million has landed in their accounts. And so with this development, I am very confident that our relationship with Afreximbank will even be stronger. They came through when we didn't know what to do. And now that we have a program, I believe we will work together with Afreximbank to ensure that we deliver development benefits to our people. Thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We would have a short address by President Oruma, but before that, may I kindly invite the Governor, Dr. Ernest Addison, to give us his remarks, his introductory message.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. MC. My presence here really is to support the Ministry of Finance in the launch of the 30th anniversary celebrations of the Afreximbank to be held in Ghana next month. And also to give moral support to my brother, President Orama, who has been a very good friend and supporter of Ghana. Anytime I had called him when we were in trouble, sometimes he's far away in some village somewhere in Nigeria in the middle of the night, he will pick the call. He's never seen a phone call come from either Ken or myself that he has, ignored. And that's the relationship that we have nurtured over the years. He has been a very strong supporter of Ghana. As you're all aware, the Afreximbank partnered with the government of Ghana, including the Bank of Ghana, to the objectives of the AFCFTA through the commercial launch of the Pan-African Payment Systems program. This PAPS program is expected to save the continent more than $5 billion annually in payment transactions cost. So this is a major innovation, a major intervention that Afreximbank has helped us, in a sense, to implement. In addition to that, they have also helped us to set up the Mansa platform, which I'm sure the MDs of the banks who are here are aware of this platform, which helps, in a sense, to assess the creditworthiness of their clients across the continent. And has helped work with the Bank of Ghana to also train users of the platform. As the minister said, Ghana is a Class A shareholder in the bank. Our shares are almost at 2.5%. And just last year, we decided to purchase additional shares from the dividend payments that we got in 2022. Afreximbank, as I said, has been a major supporter of Ghana in the crisis year of 2022. Those of you who have been following the Ghanaian story, and when all else failed, we were not able to access capital markets. Nobody was ready to lend to Ghana, and our exchange rate was literally on a free fall. Who lends into that kind of environment? And the only financial institution globally that came to our assistance was the Afreximbank. We are very grateful to President Orama for the support that we have received from the bank over the years. Bank of Ghana's relationship with them includes placements that we have been making with the bank. At the peak of it, we were able to place nearly 500 million of our reserves in Afreximbank. And hopefully some of the money that we got with the IMF will be placed with Afreximbank to earn an interest. I should also say that they have been a critical partner in the management of our foreign exchange market because of the swap transactions that the Bank of Ghana undertakes with Afreximbank. Swap lines are very important for foreign exchange management, and the bank over the years has kept faith with us. We have outstanding swap lines to the tune of nearly 800 million. This allows us to have a proper functioning of our foreign exchange market, and this is very key to our economic growth. And during the discussions on the debt exchange, in terms of some of the critical lines that we needed to preserve, were these swap lines to allow the functioning of our foreign exchange market. And we are happy to say that they agreed to extend these swap lines into 2023 and 2024. So thank you very much, Professor Orama, for all that you have done for us in Ghana. We are very happy to be part of this launch of the 30th anniversary celebrations of the bank to be held in Accra next month. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor. May I invite at this point Your Excellency, the President and Chairman of the Afreximbank, President Orama, to give us his short remarks.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. Let me also start by thanking my dear brothers and sisters, the Honorable Mohammed Amin Adam, Minister of State for Finance, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Addison, and our sister, Mr. Abubakar, the Minister of State for Information. And also let me extend our appreciation to the press people who have all joined us here, as well as the banks and some of our clients in Ghana who have come excuse me, in support of the launch of the 30th anniversary event and the 30th annual general meeting. So good evening to you all.
Good evening.
I would like to begin by extending our appreciation to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and his government for accepting to host the 30th annual meeting and the 30th anniversary celebrations of the bank, which will be held, as the Honorable Minister of Finance mentioned, at the Accra International Conference Center during June 18 to 21st, that is next month. It may sound easy to hear that Ghana is hosting it, but it's actually a reflection of the confidence, of the support Ghana gives that they accepted to host this event despite the economic difficulties that the country was going through. Hosting an event like this is not free of cost. So to take it on is something that requires confidence, requires that the host also be a strong supporter of the institution being hosted. So we are very grateful to the government and indeed the people of Ghana for this. The decision to host reaffirms, as I mentioned, the strength of the partnership between the Republic of Ghana and Afreximbank, and the immense value the government places on the relationship we have, as well as on other Pan-African institutions and initiatives. Having hosted the annual meeting of the African Development Bank only last year, and other Pan-African institutions in prior years, Ghana has indeed established itself as a key destination for Pan-African events and initiatives. The choice of Ghana as host of Afreximbank's 30th anniversary was not a difficult one. Ghana is the birthplace of Pan-Africanism, and its pioneer leader and successive leaders have shown unwavering commitment to the Pan-African ideals, which Afreximbank subscribed to fully. Also, the recent successful year of return ushered in a new sense of belonging and oneness, irrespective of geographic boundaries. So Ghana has offered every African, wherever they may be, an umbrella, a home for themselves. And Afreximbank puts itself forward as an institution for all Africans, wherever they may be. Ghana was also the first country one of the first countries to respond to Afreximbank's capital increase that was launched in late 2021. And Ghana did that despite the COVID-19 pandemic that was still raging at that time and associated financial and economic challenges. I dare say that the huge success we've seen with that capital increase owes a lot to the pioneering move of Ghana as the lead in putting its money where its mouth is. The 30th anniversary celebration will be the first gathering of Global Africa, as we call it, because it will be the first annual meeting of Afreximbank that will welcome our brothers and sisters from the Caribbean and diaspora as participating states of Afreximbank, following the decision by the Caribbean community last year to join Afreximbank and use Afreximbank as a vehicle for integration of trade, investments, and economic relations between Africa and the Caribbean. So we will hold the first meeting of Global Africa here next month. So to be a meeting of all Africans, not only the geographic Africa, as I mentioned, Global Africa, from all walks of life, with stakeholders traversing the Caribbean, Europe, Latin America, Asia, wherever we see Africans. And we are proud that we will do this in the home country of the Pan-Africanists who led the fight for independence, not only independence on paper, but independence of our mind from the colonial legacies we all inherited. So in addition to our shareholders who will be here, we expect African leaders, and we are really very, very pleased and very grateful to His Excellency President Akufo-Addo for extending invitation not only to his colleagues and peers, other African leaders, but also the leaders from the Caribbean. We also expect ministers from Africa and the Caribbean, governors of central bank, captains of industry, CEOs of banks and non-bank institutions, NGOs, university professors, SMEs, and all those that normally attend our events. We expect about 3,000 to 4,000 guests here during that week. We also expecting, as I mentioned, that we'll be joined by prime ministers, government officials, and corporate leaders from the Caribbean and the wider African diaspora from all parts of the world. From an institutional point of view, of course, the African Union, the FCFA Secretariat, the UN institutions, especially the UN Economic Commission for Africa, and all those agencies associated with them are also expected to join us as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the bank. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the choice of the overarching team delivering the vision, building prosperity for Africans, is informed by the critical role that our Afreximbank has played over the last 3 decades in the promotion of economic integration in Africa through support for inter-African trade and investment. It is obvious that those founding fathers of the bank who made the decision to set up the bank literally saw vision. If there wasn't an Afreximbank, I wonder how Africa would have been able to stand up and say they were able to acquire their own the COVID-19 vaccine that Afreximbank supported the continent to acquire. And at a time, in a multi-crisis world we are seeing today, where we see we go from one crisis to another, many parts of the world are becoming insular. It's everyone to themselves and God for us all. And it is Afreximbank and similar institutions that are beginning to stand up for the continent to provide the support that we need to cross the line, to help us to weather the storm. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate our 30th anniversary, we also look ahead and celebrate the importance of our own institutions in the journey we started when we began when we fought for independence, and many of the countries got independence in the 1960s. The journey for self-reliance. So the event will provide opportunity to confront challenges and energize Africans towards the attainment of the Pan-African vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful continent